So in one way or another, you must have heard of the term IP rating, and that's basically the reason you're watching this video in the first place, probably. Now, this is found mostly in electrical devices such as smartphones, laptops, tablets, wearables like smartwatches, speakers, and even earpods or buds. Anyways, today I'll try to explain what IP rating is and how it works, and also the difference between water resistance and waterproof, and I hope you like it. So what's up guys, how you doing? Hope you're having a nice day. I'm Milan and welcome back to Physitech. For those returning viewers and subscribers, thanks a lot, and for the new ones, you're welcome too. So I'm going to start with the meaning of IP rating. So the word IP is obviously an acronym and it stands for Ingress Protection. The whole statement IP rating refers to the level or degree of protection provided by an enclosure on electronic stuff against dust, some small particles or water that may cause damage if they come into contact with the electronic components. Now we all know that most electronic devices will not work well or may even spoil completely after getting into contact with water or dust. So companies had to find a way to try to protect our devices from such small inconveniences. For example, with your phone, you move with it everywhere and it may fall down in the swimming pool, dust particles may enter through the ports, it may get rained on, and so it needs some kind of protection to avoid spoiling after going through such stuff. Now when you look at IP ratings, they have sort of numbers at the end. For example, we have IP67, IP53 or IP68 and much more. So if you remember earlier, I said that the protection is against moisture or water and dust particles. So the first number from the left represents the dust or small solids, and the last number represents water or moisture. So like in IP67 rating, the 6 represents the rating against dust and the 7 represents the rating against water. Now there's a whole chart that shows the levels that each number represents, and I'm going to show you. Starting with the dust and solid particles, the numbers are from the dust and solid particles side. The numbers are from 1 to 6. Each number has its own level of protection, and as you can see, number 1 is protection against a solid object that is greater than 50 millimeters in diameter. So it's large solids such as your hand, and of course it can't protect against deliberate access, because if you want to get it, you can get it. Number 2 is protection against solid objects greater than 12.5 millimeters such as your finger, and most of the time it's accidental touches. Number 3 is protection against solid objects greater than 2.5 millimeters such as tools, and it goes on and on up to number 6. With number 6 is totally dust tight and it's full protection against tiny dust and solid particles. You can pause the video to check out for number 4 and 5, but I'm pretty sure you get the point. Now on to the water or moisture protection part. This goes from number 1 all the way to number 9. With number 1 is protection against droplets falling vertically. Then number 2 is protection against water droplets falling with the enclosure tilted up to 15 degrees. Number 3 is against those droplets falling from sprays of water of up to 60 degrees, and so on and so forth. With number 9, its protection is against the effects of high pressures and high temperature jets or moisture, and it's mostly used in vehicles. It won't make sense if it's used in devices such as phones, because the chances of a phone going through all that, they are slim to none. You can also pause the video to check the other various moisture ratings in the charts. You may also see some rating with the letter X on it, such as my Infinix Iroka Pros AirPods, which have an IPX5 rating. And you may also see IPX6 or IPX8 and whatever, and so the X generally means that it doesn't have any protection rating. For example, with the IPX5 rating, there is no protection against any dust or solid particles, but it has the moisture protection of level 5. If the last number is X2, then it can't protect against any level of moisture. So there is no IPXX rating, or at least I've never heard of it, because it's just not sensible to give something an IP rating, yes, it's not water and dust proof or water and dust resistant. And this brings me to my next point, the difference between waterproof and water resistance. Now, people most of the time mix up these things or may think that they are the same, but they aren't. So an object being water resistant means it can resist the penetration of water or moisture, but up to a certain level. But waterproof means it's fully impermeable to water. No matter how hard or how long you try, a waterproof material won't be affected by water. So all IP ratings against water are water resistant, and that's why it has a maximum level, let's say 30 minutes underwater or 1 meter underwater. It has like a limit, it's not forever. Now, one thing to note is that these ratings are mostly for fresh water and so may not work in the sea. So of course they will be resistant to the water, but after some time, since it's salty water, other things such as rust may start to affect the internals. We'll remember the basics of chemistry, that salt water is an electrolyte and contains free ions that basically speeds up the rusting process. Or even the salt water, it may also corrode the internals of your device, so you just avoid it in the sea or ocean. Now, in the smartphone world, we have seen this IP rating in mostly flagships and higher level mid-range phones. I'd like to ask if you think that it's worth it for even entry-level budget devices to be given IP ratings. And also, is IP rating one of the factors you choose when you want to get a new smartphone? You can leave your answers at the comment section down below. And so I hope you learned something today. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and leave a sub for more of them like this. For any inquiries and questions, you may leave them down below at the comment section too. Anyways, that's all for today. I'm Milan and this is Foodzy Tech. See you in the next video and thank you for watching. Peace.